Good afternoon, everyone. This is Carrie Sparks with Pioneer Title, your Arizona title gal. I can be reached at 602-715-5704. If you do not have a current relationship with anyone at Pioneer Title, I would love to be that person. I am here today with Daniel from eMortgage. And Daniel and I started a series on door knocking last week that we're going to carry over here to my professional Facebook page. My new coach is really pushing me over into this space, and it feels a little weird, but here I am. Daniel, would you like to give your information, licensing, all that kind of good stuff? And if you've got a website,
yes.
share.
Hi, everyone. Yep. My name is Daniel Rabati. My NMLS number is 1892449. I work with eMortgage Management. The best number to reach me is 480-331-4432. And I am a mortgage loan originator.
Well, wonderful. But you know what? Before you were in the mortgage industry, you have a strong background in door knocking.
Yes.
And last week we just started this series, and this week we're going to be talking about probing questions, tone, and scripts. And then we also have stuff set up to talk about next week with consistency and follow-up. And how do you end the conversation, all that kind of good stuff. So please look forward to having that video next week. And please remember that all these are hosted over on my YouTube channel. And please look me up there and find that. But David, if you want to start with one of those three topics, either the probing questions, tone, or scripts, you run it.
Right. Yeah, most definitely. So we could definitely talk about the probing questions first. So obviously everybody's going to be different in a neighborhood, but a lot of the times people are going to have the same situations going on. Typically, most of the homes are going to be built around the same time. Most homeowners, they'll vary from, how long they've lived in the home or not. So that's why probing is going to be, getting good at getting probing questions out is going to be great, because the more you know, the more leverage I would say that you have in the conversation. You definitely want to make sure that when you're asking these questions, you remember the answers as well, because definitely being retentive and definitely, saying it back to them later on in the conversation truly shows that, you're listening, you understand. So I would definitely say probing questions is a huge thing. You definitely want to, skill up on probing for sure.
How about tone?
Tone. So tone is also a big factor. Depending on the homeowner, you would probably know within the first 10 seconds of them saying hello, you would kind of know what tone to use. But at the end of the day, you really want to make sure that you're being as courteous and as nice as you possibly can be, because you are going to someone's house. But a lot of people do like to be spoken. You want to treat people the way that they want to be treated. So if someone's very firm, very strict, you want to get down to the business, that's how you should portray, your tone. If someone is very nice, laughable, they want to talk a little bit, hey, definitely, sit with them and talk and have that fun talk. So you kind of got to also get used to changing up the tone as well, but also understanding that you should also be nice, respectful, and courteous.
I know that maybe if somebody came to my house and maybe complimented something about my house or about something that they're seeing around the neighborhood, and that kind of leads us into the script piece that you were going to talk about too.
Right, most definitely. And there's typically is a script that you can use for a majority of these homeowners or renters that you want, that want to be homeowners. But also, like I said, the probing and the tone is going to play a factor in that. Obviously, if someone has a different circumstance than the other person, you can't use the same script. It's not going to work 100%. You want to make sure that you probe first, and then you might have to tweak up the script when you talk to them to kind of make it personal, and using that tone that they would enjoy also adds on to that personal touch, because you don't want to just be the same. And there's a lot of people there that they do go door knocking and it's for, pest control or for windows, things along those lines. You want to be special. You want to be someone different that comes to the door. You want to be someone that helps them. And
that's a really good point to stick out in a positive way, to make that imprint. there's a book called The Purple Cow.
Mhm.
And the moral of the story of the purple cow is to be different. So in a sea of brown or black or whatever colored cows, to be the purple cow, be the one that sticks out when they come to the door and leave that positive impression. And so last week, we just kind of circle back on some of the things and pick up where we left off too, is we talked about being prepared. So
Mhm.
when you were referencing, listening and remembering what to, kind of mirroring back, if you need to write things down, make sure you have your notepad, make sure you have multiple pens.
Mhm.
And always I can pull farming data out of our customer service department. So if you want to, excuse me, get to really learn the neighborhood, um, call on me. Your Pioneer Title salesperson is here to help and guide you so that you can get prepared. One of the other things that you mentioned last week, Daniel, is that if somebody would like to do this together with you, that you would be open to doing some door knocking in some neighborhoods and helping them, do the due diligence to make sure that they're in a neighborhood where solicitation is acceptable,
Mhm.
and go and backtrack on those steps. And then before we went live, you mentioned that you're going to probably be setting up a YouTube channel and doing a series of videos that you'll host over on YouTube as well. What's your plan for that?
Right. I think, there's so much information that goes with door knocking. Believe it or not, it's a very, very, very good skill to have. It's one of the hardest yet most pleasurable sales jobs I think are out there is when you go door to door. So I would love to just go deep and go dive into all the topics, how to tune yourself up, scripting for different types of companies. I mean, it's a lot. And I think having a YouTube channel for that and kind of illustrating to people how you might want to tackle a certain objection or obstacle or introduction, I think it would be phenomenal.
It is very clear how passionate you are about
Right.
this. So I'm so glad to have uncovered this skill that you have. And then just kind of in closing, do you have any final remarks before we end today?
Definitely, if somebody wants to reach out to me and ask questions, maybe they want to know what's going to be on the next, episode of this, and maybe they want to know more details on what does the script look like, or how do you think this would sound. I'm all for it. I love helping people. I've hired and trained people doing door knocking, so I know all the loops, and I know how to really get something going for someone. So I'll be more than happy to assist.
It's a great skill to know. I've done
Mhm.
it, and I've really had fun with my realtors when we've gone out. And always to my surprise, we have someone open the door that the message was just the perfect time. I don't think that there's been one time when I've gone door knocking that we haven't ended up with a conversation going toward a listing. And
Mhm.
so that's what's out there right now, is trying to attract as many listings as possible, because our market has just dried up. From something I saw on Facebook today, so I live in the city of Gilbert. Right now, at this moment, there are only 6 listings on the MLS in Gilbert that are under 300,000. Six,
Wow.
six. That's it. So I will close it up, and I just thank everyone for watching. I'm going to put this over my personal page just for the next week or so. So going forward, if you're interested in watching these videos, please make sure to like my professional page, and also go to YouTube so you can see all the previous episodes that I've done. But this is Carrie Sparks with Pioneer Title, your Arizona title gal. My phone number is 602-715-5704. It's been a pleasure to talk with you today, Daniel, and we'll go ahead and we'll be back next week with the other episode going into consistency follow-up and how to end a conversation. So have a great day, everyone. And again, thank you so much for choosing Pioneer Title. We really appreciate you.